Hi everyone, my name's Lisa and I'm the owner of Sweet and Sassy Treasures, and I'd like to welcome you to episode 6 in my mixed media tile series. I love all things vintage and I especially love pieces that tell a story. This series of videos is to encourage you to create a gallery wall with memories of your own. Every tile starts off with a 5x7 wood gallery blank, and then I apply a layer of paint couture embossing medium to give the tile the feel of being old world pottery. Once the embossing medium has dried, I'm applying a layer of white paint. That's going to help the colors in my rice paper really stand out. For this project, I'm using an AB Studios rice paper that has beautiful butterflies and script writing. There's so much flexibility with how I can line up my paper with respect to my gallery blank. If I put it in the lower corner, here the butterflies really almost add a trim element, and then I can center the hummingbird in the middle. If I move my rice paper over to the left, then I have a much different look where the butterflies are more concentrated along the left and the bottom. I could bring my mold in from the upper right corner. If I put my rice paper here, then I would be wanting to put a trimming element in the opposite corner. And with this configuration, really I have a clean slate to do what I want. I'm really thinking that I'm going to use this section of the rice paper. I'm using paint couture, Decoupage Medium, and a matte finish to apply my rice paper. Once I get it positioned in place, I'll put a layer of that Decoupage Medium over the top of my paper as well. I'm using my heat gun to dry the paper, and then I'm going to go in with a layer of top coat, and that's going to protect my surface so I can wipe paints back in future steps. I'm using my sanding block to remove the excess paper, and that leaves me a nice porous edge. I'm using the IOD Dewdrop pond mold. I've cast my hummingbird using paint couture black resin. It sets up in about 10 minutes, and I really love the depth that it adds to the castings. I'm going over it with Abyss all-in-one paint, and it's a beautiful bluish purple color. I'm painting the sides using pitch black chalk-based paint, and I'll be able to drag that black paint into the edges of my paper. It helps create that vintage feel and adds continuity to all of my tiles. After dragging the brush around the edges of the tile, I let it dry, and then I take a baby wipe and I soften those marks that I just added, and that adds a really pretty vignette. I spent a little bit of time deciding how I wanted to place my hummingbird, and then I used Titebond Quick and Thick to glue it on. Here I'm just wiping off excess glue with a brush. Sometimes I like to put something heavy over like his beak just for about 5 minutes so that I make sure that it has good contact with my tile. Now I'm using that bronze metallic paint that I spoke of earlier. I'm going heavier on the beak, the high points of the wings, and around the edges. All of this gets toned down when I go in with the black chiffon glaze in the next step. In this step, I'm using a flat brush to add some of that bronze metallic paint around the edge of the tile. This really helps tie it all together, the outside of the tile with the color of the hummingbird. I love the IOD Gilded transfers. Here I'm using curated signage. I'm going to take one of the elements and apply it to the bottom of the tile, and then I'll bring just a strip of some wording and add it across the top. After I've got that applied, I'm going to use a sealer, and that really makes that gold foil become part of the tile. It's really, really pretty. Now I'm using black chiffon glaze to go over my hummingbird, and I'm going to go a little bit around the outside just to make it look like this tile's been stored in an attic and aged a little bit. All of the products used in today's videos can be found in the description below. If you've enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more of my content, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell so that you get notified when new videos launch. I am so happy with this tile. Thank you so much for watching, everybody.